Another perfect day to talk Disney parks. So glad you could be here. Hey, if you would like to win your very own Kingdom Report mug, all you have to do is leave the phrase that pays underneath this video over at the Kingdom Report on YouTube right after the live show is over. As soon as the live show is done, you have to do is leave the phrase that pays underneath this video over at the Kingdom Report on YouTube right after the live show is over. As soon as the live show is done, leave the comment underneath the video with the phrase that pays Mickey Mouse Club. Mickey Mouse Club is the phrase that pays this week. Yeah, between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time in which to enter, if you are the winner, we will reach out to you and get that mug shipped your direction, all by entering Mickey Mouse Club in the comments section under this video right after the live broadcast. And on today's show, we are going to be talking about how the Beast Library over at California Adventure is closing soon to make way for something else, a look inside the Frozen Land over at Hong Kong Disneyland, and what that could mean for Disneyland's future in the U.S., Walt Disney World's Jollywood nights did not take off the way I think Disney thought it would, and unfortunately has led to full refunds. We're going to talk about it. Disney Cruise Line is opening up a second home port domestically, and Walt Disney World's holiday must-do lists, what we have on our list for you. We can't wait to share it with you. Tyler Crouch, Katrina Manzoni, Garrett Hassel, and me, Wade Heath, we are all here to bring you this edition of Kingdom Report Live, and it starts straight ahead.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Another perfect.
A new day has dawned at the Disneyland Resort as we take that live look outside at the Disneyland Resort's gorgeous locations, from the Grand Californian out to the soon-to-be Pixar Place Hotel, Space Mountain in the foreground, and the spire, I guess you could call it, the flagpole spire of the train station there of Disneyland. A gorgeous day it is becoming out in Anaheim right now, as it started off rather damp. It started off just a wee bit wet, as it is across Southern California, but a perfect fall day to be sure. Hello everybody, great to be back with you once again here at the beautiful Burbank Studios, just up the road from Disneyland. I'm Wade, your host for Kingdom Report Live, as we kick off another edition. News, discussion, and more, all things Disney Talk. Your Disney family is right here for you. And isn't it a great time to be with your Disney family as we enter into the Thanksgiving holiday week? Thanksgiving, of course, just ahead of us here, a few days away, a short week ahead of us, too, for those of us in the States. For those of you watching elsewhere, this is a holiday where we mostly eat and give thanks to. There's that. So we're grateful to have you along with us this weekend. I say we because the Disney family is more than just I. It is my brothers and sisters. That's right. Alongside me here today in the studio is our very own princess in residency. She's a travel agent extraordinaire, Katrina Manzone. Look at her, looking so fall chic.
Oh, sweater weather.
Oh my goodness.
It's raining outside, so, you know, it's like raining up here. We're in Burbank, but it looks great in Anaheim.
Looks real good
It's
down there.
dark outside over here.
Those dark, angry clouds.
I like it. It makes me happy. If the clouds are angry, I'm happy.
That's the voice of our theme park analyst, Tyler Crouch. Good to see you.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Michael.
Hi,
Michael Eisner with us?
Michael. Hello.
Michael.
You're welcome here, Michael. Are you... Michael?
Hello.
Thank you for coming.
Wow.
Ghost.
It's an honor anytime Michael Eisner can join us here at the Kingdom Report Live studios. And yes, I enjoy it too. Tyler, rain, fall, cool wind, weather is perfect leading on into the Thanksgiving week, even though it's supposed to get sunny and warm once again, like it always does in Southern California. But hey, we're fortunate on that end. There are other places that are going to be knee-deep in snow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I always say. Like, I hate the summer, but that's because I live in Southern California,
Right.
you know, and I get it. Like, if I lived somewhere where it snowed all the time, I would probably be like, I can't wait for the summer. So I understand that I am in I'm in a special place on this planet that brings us, you know, beautiful times for most of the year. So I understand that, but I am so excited for a little bit of rain.
It's the best of times and the better of times, that's for sure. And along with us, also rounding out the family, Cousin Garrett, our golden goose, Kingdom Report reporter, joining us once again.
No.
Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as well. I didn't know I'm Cousin Garrett, but you know,
I love him.
I'm happy to be Cousin Garrett. You know, come on down to the Country Bear Jamboree. We got Jim and Jib on the. I don't know the full song. I'm sorry.
Well,
Oh, you're doing well though.
But I do know one thing. There's blood on the saddle. There's always blood on the
saddle.
saddle.
That's
I don't
always
know
true.
how. And also a happy belated Life Day to all you Star Wars people. Life Day, for those that do not know, was the holiday special that came out November 17th, 1978. And some say it was a horrific, you know, Star Wars, you know, spectacular. I, for one, celebrated in all its confusion. But happy Life Day, everyone. If you're, you know, if you speak Wookiees, yeah, you know.
oh,
That sounded a little. What was that? Sounded a little like more the Sand People. What were they called? The Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
That sounded a little Tusken Raider to me.
Everyone.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
That's good.
See, I'm including everyone. Everyone's
Okay.
part of my
It's
culture.
true.
Yeah.
wow.
Very nice. I like that. Very good, Gary.
Yeah. It was, yeah, you know, I gotta get the Jawas too. They're my homies. Meet them at the swap meet every Tuesday.
All right.
That's what makes him our goose. Thank you for joining us, Cousin Garrett, and Jed, and Deb, and Fred, and Zed, and Ned, and all of them.
Tennessee, right?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Liver lips, and all of them.
I can't wait for the reimagining of that. It's gonna get even better because we don't have it at Disneyland anymore.
You think it'll get better?
I don't know if it's gonna get better. We'll see.
Well,
I think they're kind of too scared to go where that show goes, which is, you know, it's kind of a dark show if you
It
really.
is a dark
well,
show.
Yeah.
it won't ever go in the direction of the film. That's for sure.
Well,
Which
you know,
nobody
I need to-
saw.
Yeah, I need to watch that movie.
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie. Yeah.
Yikes.
Elton
Nightmares.
John shows up.
Well,
He's
spoilers.
apparently the gardener.
Should have done better.
Okay.
Was John Stamos in it?
Can't recall.
I don't think so. I think that's why it failed.
No.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
It wasn't Haley Joel Osment. He was one of the voices, right? For the
was.
Bears. Yeah. So
Yeah, he was the main kid.
that was when he was like going to be,
Height.
you know, that was like the height of his. Everybody thought he was going to be the next huge
The
actor.
Sixth Sense kid.
Yeah.
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 He's on fire.
Then it was like
Top of the mountain.
and done.
Entourage movie. Goodbye.
Bye. Then his
I
sister
forgot he
jumped
was
in.
that one.
Yeah.
Adorable.
That's
He's-
right.
he
Then
still
his
does-
sister went to
Oh,
Hannah
Abigail.
Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saved the family legacy. Anyway.
He still does Kingdom Hearts. Anyway,
Oh, I forgot.
on.
That
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he needs to be known for. Is Kingdom
Terrific
Hearts.
tie-in. Well, grab yourselves a mug. Grab yourselves a cup. Grab yourselves a little something. Fill it with a beverage of choice because I believe we can't start the show officially until there is a show toast. Today's show toast comes courtesy of Tyler Crouch. What are we toasting today?
Well, today is actually a pretty special day, as many of you probably already know that are hanging out in the chat. It's kind of a day that is I don't know how to put it.
How would you put it?
There's a partnership involved in this thing that we love called Disney.
Right.
And it's between a man and a mouse.
Oh, I see.
Hiya, folks.
Oh,
The mouse himself. There he is. And let's not forget also another lady mouse named Minnie. Today happens to be
Mortimer?
No.
Whoa.
I was just getting to it.
Enough. This guy.
Today happens to be Mickey and Minnie's birthday, everybody.
Whoa.
So
yay!
just happy birthday to the
birthday.
two best mice that I know. It's, if I heard that a place had a lot of big mice running around, I don't know if I'd want to go to it necessarily.
Right.
But here we are celebrating these two. Happy birthday. Love them both.
Oh,
Cheers.
Cheers,
huzzah.
everybody.
They've only gotten better with age.
It's true.
Most people don't get better with age. They age better than fine wine. I don't know.
It's like Paul
Minnie,
Rudd.
She has her own cruise ship. Mickey, he defeats a dragon on certain coastlines when available. But no,
If.
incredible. And they've never sealed the knot with marriage. But they've got to have
Really making a case for him. Yeah.
They never did get married,
They
did
did
they?
not. No. And I've been told many
Yeah.
times it was because they couldn't quite come to terms as to what religion it should be. And I was like, they are cartoon mice. Perhaps we
Why
just
not
say
just have
something
just
made
of
up
peace?
like mouseology, or I don't know. But anyway, I've heard
Interesting.
Yeah. But happy birthday, Mickey and Minnie, 95 years young. Congratulations
So
to you.
beautiful.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
You're right, Garrett. They've never looked better. Age looks good on them. That's for sure. Lots of headlines to catch you up on. Disney's been busy this past week. We will get you there. It is time for the Disney News Review.
Disney News Review time, taking a look at some of the biggest stories from across the Walt Disney Company in the past week. Deadline reporting the Beast Library over at California Adventure, which allowed guests to explore the Beauty and the Beast character's secret library, will permanently close on December the 10th, Disneyland officials announced this week. Taking over the vacated space will be Disney's Imagination Campus, an educational program that teaches students how to use their imagination to solve various challenges. Quote, our plan is for Imagination Campus to use Beast Library space moving forward, and the final day for guests to experience Beast Library will be December the 10th, a Disneyland official told KTLA. The Beast Library attraction inside the Sorcerer's Workshop, located in Hollywoodland at California Adventure Park. The attraction's Prince portrait hangs in the middle of the room, and guests can watch as it changes to the Beast, depicted in the 1991 animated film. The Enchanted Book in the library asks guests a series of questions to determine which Disney character best fits their personality. The Beast Library opened in 2001. And the Orange County Register reporting the world's first Frozen-themed land set to debut at Hong Kong Disneyland offers a glimpse of what the future could hold for the Disneyland Resort over the next couple of decades under a reimagined long-term vision for the Anaheim Theme Park Resort District. A Frozen Land was pitched in 2021 as a possible project for a proposed theme park expansion in the Disneyland Forward Plan presented to the city of Anaheim. Arendelle Village will serve as the centerpiece of the World of Frozen-themed land, opening Monday, November 20th at Hong Kong Disneyland. The backstory for the new World of Frozen at Hong Kong Disneyland brings to life the Kingdom of Arendelle for a summer snow day celebration in a themed land featuring 2 rides, a show, a restaurant, and 2 shops amid Nordic-inspired architecture. The Disneyland Forward proposal seeks to update a 1990s Anaheim City plan to allow for a mix of theme park, hotel, retail, dining, and entertainment on the eastern and western edges of the Disneyland Resort. The long-term planning proposal dangled 6 possible projects based on Frozen, Tangled, Peter Pan, Zootopia, Toy Story, and Tron as the types of lands and attractions Anaheim is missing out on under current city planning and zoning guidelines. And Great Maple Restaurant is now open at Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel. The hotel, which is soon to be Pixar Place Hotel, is currently under a transformation, with Great Maple Restaurant being one of its new offerings. The restaurant is a modern American eatery that can be found on the first floor of the hotel. Great Maple also operates other food and beverage locations throughout the hotel. Great Maple specializes on upscale comfort food with a twist. It serves fresh takes on American classics for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Disneyland Resort recently announced the Pixar Place Hotel will be officially opening on January 30th, 2024. Inside the Magic reports that guests are canceling their tickets and asking for refunds following a disastrous night at the Walt Disney World Resort. When it comes to the newest themed holiday party, Disney Jollywood Nights at Disney's Hollywood Studios, the holiday extravaganza, being a separately ticketed event, is one that invites guests to step into a shimmering holiday scene with dapper decor and themed celebrations where you can dance the night away. Disney Jollywood Nights kicked off earlier this week, and while exciting, it's certainly been getting some harsh reviews. To put it simply, the event was incredibly crowded, with guests standing in line for hours just to try the special cocktail. Guests were understandably disappointed, especially considering a ticket for the event cost between $160 to $180 per person, on top of a ticket to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Fans and guests alike criticized the event for being mismanaged, overpriced, and lackluster. Common complaints were that the event was overcrowded and did not feature enough special activities. Following the backlash, guests are now reportedly asking for refunds, and Disney is actually granting them. Several guests have reported getting refunded for their Jollywood ticket, something we're honestly very surprised by. Guests are claiming that there has been a large number of unhappy guests headed to guest relations, where they have been granted a refund for Disney Jollywood Nights. CBS News reporting the magic of Disney Cruise Lines is coming to Port Everglades. On Monday, Disney Cruise Lines celebrated the opening of its second year-round home port and dedicated cruise terminal in Florida. Its other home port is Port Canaveral. The new dedicated terminal is part of a 15-year partnership with the county. The agreement provides for one ship to home port in Port Everglades year-round. It will be joined by a second seasonal ship in 2025. The Disney Dream will begin sailings from Port Everglades on November 20th, 2023, offering guests 4- and 5-night cruises to the Bahamas and the Caribbean.
Certainly one of the larger stories of the week is the closing down of the Beast Library at Disney California Adventure Park right inside the animation building. Unfortunately, it sounds like that is, of course, going away now that Disney is going to place a educational campus for outside schools in this spot. Very unusual instance to replace a guest-facing area with something that is only going to be really seasonal when you think about it. At any rate, that is happening here in the not-too-distant future. Katrina, your reaction to the elimination of the Beast Library as a public space for park guests?
It just, I don't get it. Why?
Like, there's no
Why?
other location?
What is the reason?
Right?
Like, I love that area. It's such a cool space, and like, because you don't really think it's in there, so I don't know if they're doing it like for a tax write-off or something, and they're like, hey, children, come over here and we're going to teach you about how to solve stuff with your imagination. And then everybody's like, okay, cool, great, awesome, wow, that's great.
Imagination.
And then
It's a blast.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, so is Figment gonna go there now and teach people about? Is there like gonna be like a secret teacher inside of Figment's body, and then he's just gonna come out and start explaining stuff to
Maybe
everybody?
that's what he was doing at Imagineering this past week.
Maybe. I was like, what is happening? And then, because I love that area, you walk in, and then it's just like, you know, it's like a miniature version of the library, and then you just see like the portrait change, and then you're like, oh my god, wow. And then you can like do the storytelling, and then there's like a little book, an interactive book that you can like choose, like by your answers you get to be a character and stuff. I don't know, it's just really fun.
Yeah,
because we don't have like that like cool Beast Library and stuff that they do in Florida, because that's in a dining establishment, so we don't have that opportunity to go in and like visit and see the portrait change and stuff, even though theirs is way cooler. But this one's just like fun, and like, I don't know, I'm sad.
right.
It's just disappointing.
Between Be Our Guest restaurant and then, of course, Enchanted Tales with Belle next door, where they've recreated these worlds in so much more detail and in so much more quality, to take away really the one true Beauty and the Beast thing we have at the Disneyland Resort,
It's ridiculous.
seems very short-sighted, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge bummer. I was surprised by this news. I don't know why they had to choose this area. Maybe they're just tired of upkeep, and they thought, hey, it'd be cool. It's a library. Kids learn in libraries, right? I mean, I don't
But
know.
are they
Maybe
gonna
that's
keep
what
it, or are they gonna
I
like
don't know.
tear it all down
I'm
and
not
do
exactly
white
sure
walls?
because the other thing we're not sure about is I don't know how many out in the audience remember that there also used to be Ursula's like cave back there too.
That's right.
And the library didn't used to be the last thing. The last thing was Ursula's, and you would go in there and she would like the whole thing was like she would steal your voice, quote unquote. So, and then they would play like a movie, and you could either sing or talk, and it would record your voice. And so that has been gone for a long time now, and we have no idea what's back in that. Well, I guess they're using it for Frozen meet and greet, maybe? Or?
No, that location has become the green room for the performers for Frozen meet and greets. So
yeah.
That location got taken over, and we never heard from it again.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe it was only going to be temporary because it seemed like the character close-up concept was only going to be for like rotating characters. I thought that was the idea initially when they started doing that, but now has become like the permanent home of Anna and Elsa at DCA, it seems. And so now we're completely getting another space right next to that. It's like they're slowly annexing the animation building away from guests, and it doesn't add up to me either as to why they would take a space away when there are so many other available spaces, even in that section of the park. We have an image for you that I wanted to share that, we've used this before in talking about future expansion opportunities and places where things could go, and if they were to expand the park, that sort of a thing. You take a look at the image that we're showing you here. Obviously, for those of you watching, this is helpful. For those of you listening, probably not so much, but it is an image of Hollywoodland, high above, looking down at from Avengers Campus on over to, say, Monsters, Inc., Mike and Sully to the rescue. At any rate, all of the Hollywood backlot section, with the exception of maybe the Hyperion Theater itself, each of these locations are easily transferable. Each of these locations are ones that were only set up for temporary things to begin with. Mickey's Roller Magic, while I love it, I don't think it's going to be something that exists for a very long time in that space. In addition to that, Stage 12 right next to the Hyperion Theater, a shell that is essentially a big kitchen for the resort now. Used to be quick service restaurant front, Monsters Inc. in between, and then the Avengers Superstore, where it was the Avengers Superstore back in that corner. Stage 17, a massive space that they don't use for anything. So with all of this in mind, and these spaces that have been not utilized to begin with, why take something that exists for us now? Yes, it's not a high capacity attraction experience, right? It's a couple of seats, but it's that added touch of magic. These special places are becoming so much fewer and farther between at Disneyland in a landlocked space, right, between the two parks. These parks are already so landlocked. These parks are already so hard to get around in because when it gets crowded, there are a few places to go. These spaces are those to get away in, and they're slowly taking these away, and I don't understand what the purpose of all this is.
Yeah.
Why
it doesn't
remove
make
things?
any sense.
Why do it?
Because then what are you gonna do? Take over like the Turtle Talk and stuff, and then they didn't mention anything about the Sorcerer Mickey area. So what are they gonna tear that down? Because you have to go through there, right, to get inside the library. So then now you're gonna have like just random people, like guests and stuff, in that room, but then other people going in to go to the library. That doesn't make any sense.
Is there a back door that we're not aware of that they're going to be using for this?
So are they just slowly just going to axe it and then just like slowly take everything away piece by piece inside that building? And then where are they going to put the meet and greet for Anna and Elsa? Because like I feel like that's like the only thing really people go in there for it. Oh, and the animation drawing thing.
Yeah, Animation Academy.
Yeah, and everybody loves Animation Academy too. I've never really done it. I'm a horrible drawer. I messed
can see
up
that.
really, really bad.
Yeah.
Horrible drawer. Tyler knows. I don't even pay attention. I like flip what they're doing, and then I do it the opposite side. Anyway,
Poor thing.
long story. It's really bad.
That's true. Actually, I have seen it once.
It was really
I was like,
bad.
I do? And I was like, oh, yeah, I have. I think I tried to erase it from my memory.
It was. I tried. Yeah, it was really, really bad.
Drawing entry.
I tried drawing
Yourself some
Pascal,
credit.
and it just did not turn out. It looked like a scary gremlin that just.
You
did
should bring
not-
those in sometime, actually.
Yeah.
It was
That'd be
horrible.
fun.
Anyway, but
Actually,
now
we
I
should
think-
all do. You know, we should all
Jerry.
do one together and bring it in and show. That'd be fun.
Can we schedule this so I can? I want to attend too.
Yeah.
We just
Fly
need
out.
to schedule it well.
All right, come on out to California.
Katrina, give yourself some credit. You're an artiste, a poor artiste, but an artiste.
I like to
nonetheless.
think outside of the rules, and I do my own.
And
As
lines.
an artist should. California Adventures, over 20 years old, they still don't even know what they're doing with this land. You know, we've all this area around. We're going to pay it dead center in this popular area. And I can only think that the reason the library is going down, Gaston Constructions Company is coming in. He said, who needs books? There's no pictures. What do we even, how can you read these things? And he's like, we're getting that out. Education center, AKA a gym. It's how to get the Gaston's Tavern.
Wow.
It's going to be Gaston's Tavern. I approve that initiative, but
Wow.
this education stuff, no. It's all about getting gains at California Adventure.
Put your stamp on it.
I will say
you get a free scoop of whey as you walk in.
I will say that Gaston, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the characters that you could be from the little questionnaire that you did in there. So, I mean, he would be ripping out, a part of himself if he really, that's...
Yeah.
It's either all or nothing. That's his mentality.
Oh, okay. All right. I
He's
see.
He's the best.
Heavy-handed, that guy. Yes.
Large.
I'm glad you put your stamp of approval on it. That's certainly helpful. But yeah, I'm not sure where this is going and why remove a space that already belongs to the guests when you have so many other spaces that are they're within the proximity of this build. I just don't understand what the point of this is, but
There's not that much room in there either. Like,
Right.
there's only a few people.
Yeah.
So who exactly are they inviting? Is it like interns, or is it like actual guests that you get to sign up and go do something? Or is it like part of like some type of learning thing in imagination?
Campus
Like,
sounds
what is
to
it?
me like it deals with education in schools. Sounds to me like it's one of those things that perhaps through contractor experience, they bring in students from the outside and they teach them things. And usually it has something to do with the attractions and science and things along those lines. So most of the time, it's for kids that are from outside the resorts, individuals that are not necessarily there for a park day. They come in from schools and learn based on what Disney has to share with them. So again, only seasonal. And on top of that, probably only a few hours a day.
You know what
Yeah.
Why
seems like
take
a
this
great
away?
location for this? Blue Sky Cellar.
Blue Sky Cellar?
Seems like a great location because there's a screen.
No,
there's
but that's
a bigger area.
hold on. That's a good place to sell DVC, though. That's a good place to sell. You gotta make money.
So dumb.
We love that. We love that money.
So silly.
Everybody needs their DVC fix.
I mean, yeah.
I just think I think the only reason they might be doing this is because they're content with all of these other spaces being storage and like
Tax write-off, I swear.
and just being spaces that they use for like things like food and wine and festival of holidays and stuff. So I think they're just content with this stuff just being a good place for them to do whatever they need, like on the side, just in the meantime until they figure out what exactly they want to do. I think that's the only reason that these spaces wouldn't be used for anything else,
Doesn't seem fair. At any rate, we are losing the Beast Library for this, and
Sad.
we say goodbye to a wonderful little nook that used to bring so much magic to us. Goodbye, Beast Library. It was wonderful.
Another show toast.
Wonderful to
Bye.
have you with us, Beast Library. Bless you. Thank you. Yeah, Garrett,
Get
your-
in there, Gary.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I got it. I got it.
There you go. We're saying goodbye.
Put a little gin in there. It's tough.
Oh, all right. We move out to the East Coast, where Walt Disney World did not have the week they probably thought they were going to have, and that pertains to a new private party, of course, that didn't go off the way anybody expected. Jollywood Nights at Disney's Hollywood Studios is now issuing refunds, full refunds, after Jollywood Nights' private party concerns. Garrett, in an attempt to spin off the huge demand they see for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at Magic Kingdom, they created this new, more adult-oriented party. After so many years of running private parties in Orlando, how did Disney World fail so bad as to warrant refunds with this one? That is not something they ever do. They don't give refunds. So to
Unless
give
there's Rain,
refunds...
that's the only Rain's the only real reason they ever give refunds to Not So Scary or Very Merry Christmas Party. Yeah.
What an admission of guilt by them. to
No, it
say,
really is. Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
hey, we messed up. Here you go. Take your cash back. What do you make of it? I mean, this is surprising, and to have something so new and exciting that people were really looking forward to, another Christmas party, especially adults themed, flop the way that it did. How unfortunate.
Yeah. I'm shocked by this too, because when I heard about this, I thought, what? It's sort of like, Disneyland After Dark, sort of an adults themed party where you'd have all these amazing, the ability to ride rides with shortened ride times, amazing food and dining experiences, different atmospheric, elements that would make it magical. And it just seemed like there was confusion on not only the guest end, but also just Disney's end, where they're like, oh snap, I'm not a big merch guy, but there was only one piece of merchandise, one T-shirt, and so the line was just massively long just to even get there. And it's like, oh, we ran out of your size, and you don't let anyone know. I will say one cool thing: there's a brand new Disney mascot, a brand new Disney character. His name is Ollie. He is a fun-loving gingerbread man, and know what? He loves Jollywood Nights. Jollywood Nights just doesn't love him, it seems like. You can go to the Tip Top, soiree where you'd have, swing dancing and all that stuff. But it seemed like Disney was like, oh, this is going to be a fun party. We'll get a small crowd. And it seemed like everyone came out for it, and they just weren't prepared. Cast members even seemed confused. I've seen videos where cast members are just sort of go to guest relations. Like they seem to have no formal knowledge of themselves, so they just usher them to guest relations, and then guest relations doesn't seem to know what's going on. The managers, where are they at? So I feel for the cast members, because it's one thing to have a small mess up, but when the cast members can't even give answers or provide solutions, and it's just, all right, we're going to refund money rather than trying to solve this, it creates an issue. I will say, one of the coolest things about this, other than Miss Piggy and Kermit showing up for like 5 minutes, is the What's This show, where it's the Nightmare Before Christmas sing-along, and it starts off kind of cheesy, but there is some puppetry in there, and Jack Skellington, 15 feet tall, comes out and interacts with the guests. I've seen this clip multiple times, and it looks really cool because, he's larger than life. Usually the meet and greet, normal-sized dude. No, he is the Pumpkin King for a reason.
Is this like the puppet that they have on the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party fireworks?
It probably is
it's
the
right.
same exact one. Yeah, it looks really amazing, just like the height and size. And whenever Disney does puppetry, I think they nail it, just because how do you show, how are the cast members there, doing the puppetry without you really seeing them? And they do a great immersive job. But I saw the lines, just line after line, just to even get in, find attractions, get food or anything. It would just seemed like a madhouse. I would have been upset. I would have wanted to walk away. And, these tickets aren't cheap. It's not like $80. It's like $130, $150, $170 to certain dates. And it's just pure chaos. And I think it was, they threw out the idea, build it and they will come. But we're not going to actually be ready when they do come. That's the sort of mentality now. And it's like what you guys experienced last week at the Disneyland Hotel, brand new offering. Mm-hmm. No idea how to make it, come to life and make it work. So we'll see how it goes. But Ollie, my gingerbread homie, I got nothing but love for you, my dog. But this is your time to be the gingerbread man and run as fast as you can. So that way, the guests don't attack you.
Yeah, run away from your operational mess, Ollie. Get out of there. This type of party, Katrina, seems to be right up your alley with the more swanky adult Christmas vibes. But even mainstream press like USA Today, who reviewed this event, said this party is not worth the price tag. In fact, I had a hard time finding reviews that had anything really positive to say at all.
Yeah.
After this experience, outside of the Kermit and Miss Piggy appearance in the show, that is in the Beauty and the Beast theater. Mm-hmm. That seems to be the real highlight of this show. But how do you think Disney could improve upon potentially save this private party? They've got plenty more to come. That was night one. I think, as we've all learned, anything first night Disney, anything first day Disney, you probably shouldn't do. Because it never goes the way they think it's going.
And it's kind of like hit or miss on that too. Like maybe you do want to do it on the first night, or you don't, because it's like a cluster F, just like this one was. You know what I mean? Like when we did Oogie Boogie Bash on usually the first night and stuff. Sometimes it's actually really great because they don't invite as many people because they're working through like the little kinks here and there that they're probably gonna see, and then they usually do like a media event the night before. And the reason I think that they had huge issues on the opening night of this event for Jollywood Nights was because they invited too many media and too many influencers. and they didn't do it the night before as like a tester. They did it day of on top of paying guests, but they got access to all of these other things that everybody was waiting for. So they got the heads up to make that to make those dining reservations over at the Brown Derby. Right? No, like I'm sure like a lot of people when they walked in didn't know that they needed to do that right at that a certain time. And then so they quickly booked it and they got like what, and then they got in the lines that they needed to get into. And like, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think they also got like kind of like a little in to go in front of people, like at certain booths and stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
That's what I've like been reading. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know that they got like a heads up and stuff about the Brown Derby, but it just looked like, again, they didn't know where to check in, so there was long lines. There was long lines for the drinks. I mean, you can't really F up 3 drinks at the soiree of the Tip Top Club. You know what I mean?
Can.
There's like you had 2 pre-mixed drinks and sparkling prosecco. You know what I mean?
And
and they're not
3 bartenders. Is
Yeah.
what,
And they
is
didn't
what
have
everybody
enough.
said. There were 3 bartenders. When you are basing an entire party on food and drink and characters, and you can't show up for that operationally, what do you expect to happen?
Yeah.
And the Tip Top Club wasn't even that big like they should have had. There wasn't even enough room for people to actually dance with the singer and stuff. And everybody was just kind of standing around because there wasn't enough room to dance. So I'm like, everybody talks about the Tip Top Club. Everybody talks about it. Figure out a space, the layout, like you do events all the time. So if you know how many people are going to be coming and everybody wants to go to the Tip Top Club, have a separate space with the singers and have multiple bartenders and like a couple sections, you know what I mean? Because that line looked atrocious. And then they had the Fiesta in La Calle and like no one knew about it. Everybody was just kind of like, oh, shit, like there's actually something going on here. And then they had like live music over there, and then it was like I guess like just kind of like a bummer because like nothing was going on. I will say, like, on a positive note, that drinks and food were actually a lot lower cost than normal. Like a drink was like $6-7, which I'm like, what the fuck? Like I've never seen like an alcoholic beverage for $6 or $7 at a private event or like at an event alone. And then like food was like $5, $6. So the food was like a lot lower because like when you go to the Mickey's Not So Scary or like any of those private parties, they're still going to charge the same for loaded tater tots and stuff, like $10 here and there. And this was like a lot lower. So I was like, okay, that's a positive note. But then on top of it, it's just like, I guess like that main show with Kermit and Miss Piggy, that was hard to get into because they only had like 2 showtimes. And then the other one was like, they had 4 showtimes, a sing-along and stuff. And then they have like, 1 fireworks show, which is fine. But, think about it. Like maybe you should probably do like 3 showtimes for like those big events. And then
let me correct you. There were 4 shows for
each?
the Beauty and the Beast theater show.
Oh,
for the
okay. Well,
Christmas.
then never mind.
But what
Take
does that
back.
tell you? That even with 4 shows, completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That this event was oversold.
Oh, they over invited people because like they had the money people and then they had the influencers. They should have brought the media and stuff the day before, and to get it over with, to get them pumping out like positive reviews and stuff, and then let the people show up on Jollywood night, like the official night. And now it's just like all these influencers got in for free, so of course they're gonna like be like, oh my god, I can't say anything bad about Disney. This is so great. Oh my god, it was so much fun. And then everybody that paid was like pissed off. And then I was like, that's when the news people start picking those like up versus like the influencers because they can't say anything bad.
It was a mess, Garrett.
Seems like what?
It was a mess.
Yeah, it was, and it seemed like everything was around Sunset Boulevard. They didn't even utilize, Galaxy's Edge. Or, you could have done the Tip Top Cup over at the Indiana Jones Experience. You have that entire set or stage. You could have put stuff out there or done an Indiana Jones meet and greet or, Toy Story Land. Everything was built around the main central hub and, Sunset Boulevard. And that's a very thin street. If they could have spread it out, specialty characters, maybe Green Army Man, Holiday, Toy Soldier, Drumline, or special meet and greets over in Galaxy's Edge. I know Galaxy's Edge does not have Christmas, but you could have done Life Day, or you could have done some other holiday element, or say, hey, give me Darth Maul.
They can't. It doesn't go in line with their theming. That's the whole point, right? With Star Wars, they can't do Christmas because, it's
but like you don't need to
connecting. It
do
ruins
that.
everything.
You can say just, as an added bonus, come experience Galaxy's Edge after dark or something like that, or Toy Story. It just seemed like you're taking a half-day park, you're cutting it in half, and now it's a quarter of a park experience. Even like, and no one even showed up to say hi to Gertie. We love Gertie.
Sadly.
Everybody loved the cookie. I saw so many pictures of that tiny little cookie.
Yeah.
They had a cute little Christmas
Selling
cookie.
a Gertie cookie.
That's adorable.
Lines for hours. People waiting to get that too. I think, with this only being a 4.5 hour event, 4 hour event, which on top of that, it's even shorter than Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. It does end with the Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam fireworks show, which that's fantastic. However, I think when you center everything around food and beverage and show elements, and then you can't accommodate that, there needs to be more shows. There needs to be more food and beverage
there
options.
There needs to be more loungy areas. That's the whole point of like food and wine, right? Like you just want to grab some food, grab a drink, and then go lounge somewhere. Like put tables out so people can like stand and like chillax, and like that's the whole vibe that everybody was trying to go for. And then it just looked like a mess on top of all the rain that they had to.
Or do attraction overlays. A Very Merry Christmas rock and roller coaster where it's like Aerosmith rocking out to. I don't know, different Christmas songs like Jingle Bells, but like a rock version or something. They could, because
I don't know if they want to work with them again right now, but
okay. But I'm just saying if there
maybe
is
Wham.
Yeah. But if I'm all about Last Christmas.
Yeah.
But if you create an additional attraction element themed around the holidays, it pulls away from these other lines, making it not as congested and not as many lines. I think it just overall missed opportunity, kind of rushed and put together, and we'll probably blame Chapek because that's just the easiest scapegoat for us.
Right. Yes, he's long gone, but boy, we'll still give him the blame for some reason. Now,
that's right.
I find it fascinating. Mickey's Very Merry, now a well-oiled machine after all these years. Did nobody ask the people at Magic Kingdom, how should we run this private party?
I don't think anybody asks anything
Christmas?
anymore.
I guess not.
I think they're just different beasts. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, they do so many special events that I feel like they should have known
how many after-hours events, right? How many after-dark events do they do? How is this not a formula by now? How do you not anticipate what might be a crush of humanity and stagger things out appropriately? It sounds like this was just such a failure operationally. To be giving those full refunds is the admission of guilt, like I said, that they messed up.
Yeah.
Thank God they're giving the full refunds. That's at least the least they could do, because it sounds like
one-day park ticket.
Yeah, all these people did. They got in, and the guests that came to be part of it,
the paying people,
they came and they waited.
Yeah.
For hours to maybe do a thing or two.
Yep.
And then they waited in line to get a drink, waited in line to get food, waited in line to get a merchandise, waited in line to get another drink. And I'm like, what happened?
I saw somebody on Twitter too say that they were in contact with someone who was at the first night and their time was ready for Rise of the Resistance. Excuse me, my voice is like
is it the
dying all of a sudden. I don't know what happened. I apologize. And then so they got their time called for Rise of the Resistance and they showed up. They were in line for about 45 minutes, and then all of a sudden the ride shut down, and they evacuated the whole thing. So they spent over about an hour of a 4-hour party waiting in line to do nothing. So, I mean, I know that's like not something that Disney can necessarily fix on the fly, but it's just one of those things that's just unfortunate on top of everything else. You know?
Make some adjustments. It sounds like potentially that's what they're going to be doing, and hopefully, if you have tickets to the Jollywood nights coming up, you will fare much better than opening night. This was really disappointing to hear about, and as much as I think we all would love to go to a holiday-themed party that Disney's throwing,
especially
not like
soiree.
this, especially a soiree. That's right. Hey, are you in the mood for some trivia? I think we should do it. Let's go. Disney trivia time. Disney Trivia Minute. It is time to test our team on some of the most insightful of questions. This time around, we are focused on Disney film. That's right, Disney film questions. Animation, to be specific. We are going to start with a question straight out of Tangled.
Ooh.
I know. How long is Rapunzel's hair? A, 50 feet, B, 70 feet, or C, 80 feet? We will start with Katrina. How long is Rapunzel's hair?
Shoot, I don't remember.
Here comes the dissertation.
I was dancing until I saw the
I
question.
know. I was like, "Burr, burr, 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 burr." Okay. You know what? I don't even know. I'm gonna go 70 because it sounds good.
70
because it looks like
sounds
a flowing lock of hair.
good. Okay. Garrett, how long is Rapunzel's hair? 50 feet, 70
Well,
feet, 80 feet.
I'm putting on my thinking cap right now.
Is that what that is?
And
Wow.
No.
That's what I found. So they do a French braid in the kingdom, and I see how they overlap it. If you do the average rate of a hair, okay, I'm gonna say 50. 50 feet sounds good. 70 sounds a bit extreme. 50 sounds right.
I saw it on like Twitter the other day too.
Oh, did you?
I
Wow.
literally saw it on Twitter.
It's out there. It's in
Oh,
the
wow.
ether now. My goodness.
50. 50
Ti-
indeed.
Oh,
What's happening? Oh,
I just had to. Okay.
not quite 50 feet, but it'll do. Your thinking cap there. How long is Rapunzel's hair, Tyler? 50 feet, 70 feet, 80 feet?
I think I'm gonna go with 70 feet too because
70.
I don't know. I just sounds right. I don't know. I feel like I could see them being like, "Hey, people like that number 7. It's like a lucky number.
That's
So
like
let's
her
go with
hair.
70."
All right.
And also that tower, like
it's really high.
it's really a
I don't
tall
really
tower.
know how high 50 feet is, to
I-
be
it's-
honest, visually. So who knows?
Flynn Rider's got to be at least 40 feet tall. So
Sure, he's a giant.
yeah, 70.
70 feet, final
Okay.
answer.
Yeah.
And producer Tony, you're off camera, but how long is
Yo, homie,
Rapunzel's
it's
hair?
Tony.
50 feet, 70 feet, or 80 feet?
I just like to say 50,
50?
so I'm going to say 50 feet.
50 feet,
50
he
feet.
says.
Be up in the club
Like that, like you do.
like 50 Cent.
Right, I caught the reference. Thank you, friend.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, when it comes to how long Rapunzel's hair is, it is, in fact, be 70 feet.
Yes.
Yay.
Scoop, you love that.
I always lose.
You do. You do always lose.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes you win,
Wait,
but you
wait,
mostly
wait,
lose.
Yeah, man. Would tear me down when I'm even lower.
I tear you down
Aw.
to build you back up.
It's true.
That's what it's
I
all
don't know
about.
if that's true. I feel like I'm always getting torn down.
Never.
Let's go
Oh.
question number 2. I feel luckier about this one.
Never. Question number 2.
You got this one.
I feel it. What is Boo's real name on Monsters, Inc.? Melody, Sophia, or Mary? What is Boo's real name in Monsters, Inc.? Is it A, Melody, B, Sophia, or C, Mary? Garrett, let's start with you since you're feeling froggy.
Yeah. Well, Melody's the name of Ariel's daughter in Little Mermaid 2, so I don't
Oh.
think Disney would ever
That's
do
true.
2 melodies, even though it's Pixar. That's out. We already got Sophia the first, and she's kind of a punk, so she's out. I'm going with Mary because Boo is 3 letters, Mary's 4. I figure it's close enough to get there. So, my girl Mary, what's up?
The
She had
science.
a little lamb, not a little.
Mary had a
Monster.
little Sully.
A little door.
Fleece was blue as water. I don't know.
All right. Katrina, what's Boo's real name in Monsters, Inc.? Melody, Sophia, or Mary?
Ugh. We all know this too, because isn't it like in her backpack or something, or is it like in something on?
I think
in
they
the-
show it.
It's like in her
yeah.
room.
Wait, it's like I just watched it
Well,
last
then
night.
if you
I
know
know
it, if we all know it,
We all know it, everybody.
Do
we all know it. Her
mean,
name is Boo. Boo is everything.
I don't know. I want to say, does she look like a Mary? I don't know. I don't think she looks like a Mary.
I would guess.
Does she look like a Sophia?
does she?
Maybe. She's regal.
She's regal.
Does she look like a Melody? She sure has a good scream.
Oh, that's true.
Good laugh.
Like a siren.
Yes.
Yeah.
Siren call. You know, she powers things
She does.
very well.
She's gonna look like a teenager by the
A-okay.
time you answer this question.
I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, I'm gonna
Christina,
go with Mary too.
Wow,
No, wait.
that was-
I want to go with Sophia.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
I'm going with Mary.
Be Sophia. Tyler's going with Mary. Garrett's going with
Should I go
Mary.
with Mary? Should I change?
You already locked it in.
Oh, dang it.
Tony, how, or I should say what, is Boo's real name in Monsters, Inc.? Melody, Sophia, or Mary?
Well, my boo ain't named any of them,
Oh.
but I'm going to go with Sophia because I love the Golden Girls.
Yes.
Well, what
There
a
you go.
reason. All right. ladies and gentlemen, the real name of Boo in Monsters, Inc. is Mary.
Let's
C.
go.
Garrett, you're back on top.
Back on top, baby.
We did it, Garrett.
She had a little golden goose.
Oh,
And Tyler too.
All right.
That sounded
I'm glad you threw. Thank you for
very-
throwing me in there at the end. I appreciate that.
And
I'm sorry. I sometimes I get caught up in myself.
No, you get. I
it's not
appreciate
for
it.
anyone else.
and Katrina, nice try.
I'm trying. Sophie sounds like a cute name for a little girl. You know?
Right. Sure.
Sophia. Sophie.
Everybody knows it. They see it in the movie.
They all know it.
Yeah, it's like
they
They all know it.
They were just
That's
wrong.
They just, yeah. Thank you for playing along at home. And did you know those answers? We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments. You stick around. Plenty more Kingdom Report Live for you next.
You know, Walt Disney, he is seen as sort of this mythical creature nowadays, this magical man that could do no wrong. And yet, he spent most of his life steeped in failure. From heartache to betrayal to death and even a breakdown of his own. It's often said that artists are tortured souls, and I think it's safe to say that Walt Disney was a tortured soul by his own standards most of his life. Walt Disney had to do some of the hardest things any person can do, and that is convince others of unimaginable dreams he had solely in his head. And oftentimes he had to stand alone in his own visions to make them happen. He was surrounded by family, he was surrounded by fawning fans in the public wherever he went, and yet so often he had to stand alone in his decisions and his choices. Only he understood what it was he was trying to do. He's more like you and me than I think a lot of us assume. Stand Alone, The Walt Disney Way. 10 Lessons for Harnessing Your Own Magic. By me, Wade Heath. A new book coming soon. Be inspired by Walt Disney all over again.
It is time for the Disney List. This time around, looking at some of the best from across Disney parks. Today, focusing on our must-do Walt Disney World Resort holiday season list. Some of our must-dos when it comes to the Orlando theme parks and sprawling property. And we will begin with our friend Tyler. Tyler, what are some of your holiday season must-dos at Disney World?
All right. Number 1.
Jollywood Nights.
Well,
Way to go, spoil it.
adjacent of Jollywood Nights is I have to go see Santa Gertie.
You do.
It's true.
I really do. I mean, let's just be honest. That whole like Echo Lake location there that they have
with the ornaments on
with the
water.
ornaments everywhere, and like they've got the different art, the like holiday inspired art that kind of reminds me of like a Coca-Cola can, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of a whole this vibe to just hang out there by the lake, look at the little
Old school
ornaments,
music too.
check out Santa Gertie. You know, she's smoking something. Something's coming out of her nostrils. Nobody knows what it is, but
Holiday
we still love
cheer.
her. It's holiday cheer. So I hope I hope Puff Puff passed that holiday cheer
Oh my god.
because
That's
because
not,
I would like some Santa Gertie.
That's not a designated smoking area anymore.
No, you're right. It should never be. It's a beautiful area, and I don't want any cigarettes over there.
That's
So.
right.
All right.
Make it.
And my second thing that I absolutely need to do in Florida that will make me just really know the holidays are there. The holidays are complete. Is when I'm throwing on a sweatshirt and a pair of pants.
Merry Christmas to all.
When I'm in
Holidays.
Florida and I throw that sweatshirt on, I'm like, the time is here. It is
One
winter.
week. 1 week of winter.
And
That's
that, more than anything, there's so many things in Disney World that we could say, like the decorations everywhere. You know, there's I don't want to steal any. You know, I don't want to list them because you guys are about to list your own. But I just feel like the thing that really brings me in, I'm like, man, it's cold.
It is cold.
And I like just when the weather in Disney World is cold enough to put a sweatshirt on. That's
It
Makes
is
you
rare.
feel in the moment.
that's when I'm there.
Christmas.
And speaking of the moment,
Holidays.
Katrina, what's on your must-do list?
So many things.
I know.
I could only pick two.
And to whittle it down is difficult for our little elf.
It is so hard to understand.
The worst.
Okay, so the first one
Yes.
is the music in Epcot over at World Showcase. Mary's little boy child is like our it's like our song now. Every
It's true.
time we go, like, I forget, like, it was like in Thanksgiving. It was a beautiful time. You know, we were there on Thanksgiving Day, and that was like way back in the day when no one traveled on Thanksgiving. So like everybody was with their families, and Tyler and I are like, to hell with that. We're gonna be over here at the parks, and it was like dead. And then we went to Epcot, and it was just so serene and so quiet. And that was before they had that like that nasty thing in the water that like took over like all the beautiful views and stuff. So we were like looking at the water, walking around Epcot and the World Showcase,
Soaking in the holiday
soaking in
cheer.
the holiday, eating foods, and then listening to Mary's Boy Child. And every single time we would start walking, we would always notice this one song play. And I was like, is it on repeat? And then it was just like, no, it's just like every time we just talked and thought about it, it was always on. And then so now we just listen to it every year. Yeah, so that's like one of my favorite
That's
things.
hilarious. Great.
So it's great. Look it up. It's great. And then my second one is Living with the Land holiday version. It is not Christmas until you ride Living with the Land and go underneath this little like light rainbow tunnel. And then they decorate in like the areas, and it's just so fun. And they have like little Christmas trees, and like it's just so great. They
just the
decorate it with
best.
ornaments
Banger of a
and
time.
stuff and like tinsel. Just screams Christmas.
And if
love it.
Christmas scream, if it screamed it, what would it sound like?
Like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It wasn't
okay,
like
all right.
it's not scream.
look.
It's like a nice like aura. It's like
Okay.
It-
just
It did it. It scrummed.
yeah.
I thought it
it's
would be
not-
like ho ho ho.
no,
No.
no.
It's very
it's gonna be
angelic.
an angelic
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
pentatonics like
I always
voice.
think of like
Pentatonics,
screaming of like
right.
what is it when in Shrek with what's the singer's name, and then so they like reimagined it, and Snow White did it in Shrek, and then she's like, I'm gonna call my animal people, and then it's like
Oh.
Yeah, what is that song called?
It's not a Disney movie. I'm
that-
not familiar with anything.
I don't even
I can't
remember
remember.
who does that. But anyway, that's what I think of when people
That's not
like,
AC/DC,
scream.
is it?
Oh,
No.
maybe. Is it?
Is it?
Is it? Okay, cool. Thanks,
Yeah.
Tony. His little head's right there. He's like, anyway,
What's up?
whatever. Anyway, so it's like a beautiful aura, it's like a beautiful music, and
Mm.
it's just so serene. And you know, because you're stressed on the holidays, it's like exhausting,
So
and you're stressed going to the parks and stuff.
Ah.
But when you hop on Living with the Land holiday version, all of it just melts away.
Everything fades.
You and your
Everything just goes away, and you just live with the land. Just
Grab a
for
cucumber.
5 minutes. Yeah, grab a cucumber.
grab a cucumber and settle in.
Listen to the dog bark. Smell the food around.
There's nothing better, Garrett. What are some of your
Yeah.
must-dos?
This one only came out recently.
Oh.
And it has to be Discovery Island during the holidays is just serene, magical. The little animal lanterns, because they don't pick a specific, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, or anything like that. It's just the celebration of Animal Kingdom in the wintertime and the Merry Menagerie. These
I love the
cute
Merry
little
Menagerie.
devils. I love them. Whether it's the
penguin.
polar bear or the reindeer, but the penguins, yes.
Oh, the penguins.
Especially the little tiny ones, the set of 3 of them. Little-
Yeah.
like the cast members that bring these characters to life,
They're so good.
it's amazing because you see them doing all this, but the way they move and interact, it's just so fun. And if you like pet them, they're like, they'll react to you. And the polar bear one's honestly the most impressive because it takes 2 of them to make this mighty beast come to life. And I think this whole area is just so magical. And then at nighttime, you get the special show on the tree, and projection mapping on a tree is a feat of magic because it's it's a tree. It's not like a castle where it's all like blocky. So
And it's not just
I
a
have-
plain tree too. There's like,
Yeah.
figures engraved in the tree. So it's
Yeah.
hard to a projection map on that
Yeah,
baby.
they don't use
Yeah.
computers and science for that at
Tyler,
all.
It's magical.
It is magical. Thank you. But I would say I was going back and forth between my second one, but I decided that the Candlelit Processional is just.
Oh.
Here,
At
here.
Epcot, I know the Disneyland one is the better of the two, but the one at Epcot, if you see it just once, it just ties the whole season together. And whether you celebrate like Christmas or whatever, and you want to learn about the story of Jesus, just the level of song and just the passion and power that the speakers put into it, it is amazing. Like, I'm getting chills right now thinking of it. And whether you get Neil Patrick Harris or you get Simu Liu, who's popping out this year,
They're getting Brendan Fraser.
Great.
I know.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser. Yeah,
Eva Longoria.
Oh,
How's that desperate housewife doing?
I don't know. But
What's her
I don't
face
know,
needs
Wade.
to
You might. It
confirm.
sounds like you might know more than we.
But I would have loved to see Lieutenant Dan up there, but Lieutenant Dan ice cream, but he's busy. But yeah, the Candlelit Processional at Epcot, even if you just walk by it and you hear a song, it captures the moment. The whole area is just so full of light and energy, and I love it. Just like the emotion. Oh, yeah,
It is very beautiful.
Yeah, it's so unique because there's nothing like it at Magic Kingdom, and it's only 2 days at Disneyland. So yeah, the Candlelit Processional is amazing. And when you learn that the cast members are part of the ones singing, that makes it even more magical. They didn't hire singers; they got cast members that took extra time out to put on this performance for the guests. It is a beautiful job. So yeah, you got the cute little animals, and you have the amazing voices of the Candlelit Processional, and then you go do the cookie trail, and you try not to throw up.
Cookie trail.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Can you what?
Can we do one more toast?
You want to toast something? All right.
Yeah, we
He's
have
in
to
a
just.
toasty mood today.
Today is the third. It's just another show toast, please. I just feel like we need to recognize that the best holiday offering has still been taken from us, and that would be the Osborne lights. I'm smiling right now because it is.
I still got
It's
clips
still
of it on my
beautiful.
phone.
I still have it on my phone.
It's just kind of funny what we're doing, but I do genuinely miss the Osborne spectacle lights. Like
love
they
it.
were. I mean, that was like incredible. Galaxy's Edge was not worth it.
No.
And I'm gonna miss that forever. So
Wow.
here's to you, Osborne lights. And
To Osborne
just
Lights.
cheers.
To the
They should have
Osborne.
done that for Jollywood. They should have made like a tiny
Right?
little area, like a little.
That would have been perfect.
Like a
Bad
little
idea.
thing,
Tyler, when
That-
you're CEO, you got to make these things happen. You're writing down our ideas, right? Because we need you to push our agenda out.
I don't write them down because I don't want anybody to steal them.
true.
I don't
wanna do it.
the
Treat 'em,
500
write them
people
down,
watching
hang
right
them
now.
on.
They don't listen. Don't steal this idea.
The Barbara Streisand jingle bells during like Osborne spectacle lights just like changes
Yeah,
your life.
that's-
If you just
it's
listen
good
to that
times.
song
Changes
and
your
just
life.
imagine like lights
true.
going off the whole time, you're like,
And then
is
you
happening?
and then you look at each other and you go, I didn't know I needed that.
yeah.
And then
I
Thanks,
still have it
Babs.
on my
Yeah.
phone. I still like listen to it every now and then.
Some Wizards in Winter by Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Wow.
You need that.
Yeah.
You need that seizure-rific experience.
for sure.
I feel like that was a worthy toast. Absolutely. It's it is sad to think that it's no longer a part of our lives. One of my absolute favorite Disney memories is attached to that. Absolutely. And I get it. Without it, it is hard to think about Disney World and the Christmas season now knowing it is no longer there for us to enjoy. So
Yeah.
it is worthy of a toast. Nicely done, Tyler.
Oh yeah, you got it.
You let us know what is on your must-do Disney World list when it comes to the holiday season at Walt Disney World Resort. Leave it in the comments. We would love to hear from you. All right, my friends, well, that about wraps things up for this edition of Kingdom Report Live. We are so grateful to have been a part of your weekend, whether you are here in the States and celebrating Thanksgiving this coming week, or maybe you're not. Either way, we want to say a very warm, happy holiday season ahead to you. May your Thanksgiving be merry and bright, and we will be back here with you again next Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, at 12 p.m. Pacific, for an all-new Kingdom Report Live. Remember, the legacy of Walt Disney, it lives on because of people like you and me. See you next Saturday.